Hello, this is Dejon Hill. I'll be talking about the video that I watched on Mitosis, which I actually went to Khan Academy and I watched the videos for Mitosis and Meiosis on that website. But here, starting with Mitosis, I'll just go through basically in order the same information he went and make comments along the way. Uh, I feel like overall it was a good video. I have the link included, and I think it would have been a lot more effective if throughout the video he wasn't confusing some terminology. But to start off with, he was saying nucleuses. I guess that's not a big deal, but he was saying nucleuses instead of nuclei. Um, then later on in the video, a little bit after that, he started talking about interphase. He mentioned G1, S phase, and G2, and he mentioned everything that happened in each of those steps. But I think he could have done a better job explaining that G1, S, and G2 are all a part of interphase. The way he explained it almost made it seem like G1 was interphase by itself, and then after that came S phase and then G2. But all three of those steps are actually interphase altogether. And then he mentioned prophase, and he said chromatin starts winding together, and he was saying centromeres facilitate the generation of microtubules, which is not correct. It's actually centrosomes. And then I think he might have caught himself later in the video, but centromeres are actually what hold sister chromatids together. Then he mentioned prometaphase. He almost kind of made it seem like prophase and prometaphase were all one step, but the way the textbook explains it is like they're completely separate. So I'm not really sure if that's just an opinion or uh, if that's more factual that they're actually separate. But he did mention that the nuclear envelope starts to break down, and microtubules push the centrosomes apart and attach to the centromeres of the chromosomes at the kinetochore. So I think he did a good job explaining that. Then he mentioned metaphase, which is where the chromosomes align at the middle, and he kept saying microspindles. Um, Although up to that point in the video he was using microtubules to expand to define the mitotic spindles, which I mean I guess is not that big a deal, considering that spindle fibers are made from microtubules. I think he would have probably been able to get his point across a little bit better if he had explained that. So that way, if he was saying spindles or microtubules, um, the way he was using the words, it would have still made sense either way. And then he said at that part that metaphase was the aligning of cells as opposed to the aligning of chromosomes. And then he also said that as far as the chromosomes, that the spindle fibers attached to he referred to the spindle fibers as ropes. He said ropes attached to the kinetochore, which I think he should just stick to the actual scientific terminology if he's trying to inform someone of exactly what's going on there, unless he's trying to draw an analogy and then he uses ropes in like an example. But that wasn't the case there. Then he mentioned anaphase, in which the chromosomes are pulled apart. And he keeps, at that point in the video, he kept saying centrosomes in place of centrioles. He meant to say, or rather, I'm sorry, the video said that he was saying centrosomes, but he was supposed to say centrioles. But when you actually listen to what he was saying, he was actually correct in saying centrosomes. Um, just to explain that, like Khan Academy, if the guy is speaking and he makes an error, and then they realize it after the video is posted, then they'll post a caption that supposedly corrects what it is he's trying to say. And then let's see here. He as he was drawing his pictures, he was including the centrosome inside the new nuclear envelope that was forming, which is not correct. The nuclear envelope would only contain those chromosomes. And then at the end, he mentions cytokinesis occurring and the fact that the cells are split into two new cells. However, he doesn't mention, he uses the terminology cleavage furrow, but he doesn't explain that what's going on there is actually actin and myosin, uh, actin and myosin filaments that are causing that furrow to happen in those cells to pinch apart. Uh, and then he also says that cytokinesis is not a part of mitosis, but in reading the textbook, cytokinesis is clearly listed. I'm looking actually exactly at panel 18-1, and they have cytokinesis listed as a sixth step. And then even before that, in the paragraph, it said that um, it specifically said that cytokinesis was actually a step in mitosis, which is, uh, or rather, it says M phase is conventionally divided into 6 stages, and cytokinesis is the sixth stage. So, I mean, like I said, overall, I feel like it was a good video. Had he had his terminology all together, then it would have been pretty close to perfect. I feel like the material is aimed more at um, high schoolers and college students, but also I could see some middle schoolers watching this video and gaining some understanding from it. Um, so that's about that. Thank you.